I ain't even gonna name the people that I know that's up in the Kenosha trial. But there's cameras in there. It's definitely cameras up in there, and there's definitely people taking pictures of the juries and everything like that. We know what's going on. So we need the same results, man.
So that right there was George Floyd's nephew, Cortez Rice, saying that, of course, he knows people who are taking photos of the jurors in the Kyle Rittenhouse case and say, of course, they got to get the same result. And I don't know, of course, what the same result is other than another big case that happened recently. However, all this going on makes me just have to ask one question, just one question only. Where the hell is the FBI? The FBI apparently had enough resources to literally raid Project Veritas journalists because they thought they might have had Joe Biden's daughter's diary. All right, FBI had enough resources to track down a lost diary. Yet a man is claiming that he wants to dox the jurors, or that he has the resources to dox the jurors, and the biggest case of the year. And where are they? They're nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. And this right here is going to be what all modern court cases will become. The reality is that for the most part, protests have been very tame when it comes to most criminal cases. Obviously, there was a couple exceptions. Obviously, there were some people who were a bit worried during the OJ trial back in the day. But for the most part, most big trials, yeah, people were upset at what was happening, but no one was really the jurors were not being threatened to the way they are now. We know for a fact jurors felt threatened during the Chauvin case. And I assume that's what he's talking about here, trying to get the same result. Obviously a conviction. Multiple jurors said they felt a little uneasy, that of course they had to drive through the riots to get to the courthouse. Obviously they're going to be intimidated. And so I think for one, of course, with Chauvin, he might have a case for his appeal. But for the Kyle Rittenhouse case here, we have a man, again, directly saying, we're going to basically dox these people. We're going to try to find a way to get pictures of the jurors because they must get the same result. And where's the FBI? Where is law enforcement? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. And it's funny because, some people are saying, well, this means nothing. Of course, people can say this sort of stuff all the time. I pulled up the definition here of jury tampering laws, right? A person commits the crime of jury tampering if, with intent to influence the juror's vote, opinion, decision, or other actions in the case, he attempts to directly or indirectly to communicate with a juror other than as part of the proceedings and the trial of the case. Jury tampering may be committed by conducting conversations about the case outside the courtroom, offering bribes, making threats, or asking acquaintances to communicate with the juror. This is an indirect threat. People know what it means when they say, hey, we're going to get pictures of you and we want the same results. All right, that is an indirect threat. All right, this dude is committing jury tampering. It is just, God, it is just unreal that we've turned into this kind of society. We've turned into this sort of mindset now when it comes to criminal justice in this country. All this time the left has been going on about how we need criminal justice reform, and apparently when they said criminal justice reform, what they meant was mob justice. That's what they really meant, mob justice, not actual due process. All right, we need due process. We have to always side with due process, even with the people we hate, even when it comes to him. I want him to be arrested for jury tampering, but at the end of the day, he has his he should have the right to due process. He should go through the courts, and it should be a very non-biased setting where he can make his case. But we're moving further and further away from this. We're moving to a point where jurors are going to be terrified to ever give results to anyone, especially a trial like this where all the evidence now is saying Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. I'm just saying it. He's a hero. It's plain as day at this point. He killed a pedo. He killed another dude hitting with a skateboard, and he killed another dude who if you didn't see it, it was amazing. The dude who pulled the handgun on Kyle even said in the courtroom, he didn't shoot me until I drew my gun and aimed it at him. He said he didn't shoot me when I had my hands up, but he did shoot me when I pointed my gun at him. He admitted to point the gun at Kyle when he was shot. Just utterly insane that and you saw the defense, not the defense, the prosecution. They're just sitting there in the background with their heads in their hands, just looking so defeated when he said it. It was it was amazing to watch. It was completely amazing to watch. This right here is just, it shouldn't even be in trial at this point. It should be tossed out. There's no reason why Kyle should even be going through this process whatsoever. The kid went there trying to protect his community. He should be held up as a, of what a young man should be. He went out there. He cared for those who were injured. He cleaned up the streets. He put out fires and only fired his weapon when he was assaulted. The only people who were killed by Kyle were those who were trying to kill Kyle. No one else got hurt. Not a single soul got hurt. I go to the range quite a bit. There's no way I could have been as responsible as that kid was. That kid's got some natural God-given talent, I'll say that. It just did a phenomenal job. And yet, he's going through this process. The kid should be held up as a hero. And the fact that right now in a case that is as easy to rule on as this, we have, of course, them trying to dox the jurors is appalling. Either way, what do you think? Should George Floyd's nephew be arrested for jury tampering? Leave in the comments below, as well as, of course, if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, leave a like. It really does help out a lot. As well as, of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Try to do, a video every day on weekdays. So stay tuned. Either way, thanks so much for watching, and we'll be talking again real soon.